Hi, everyone, and welcome into Getting Ready for Christmas, Part 9. When I'm getting ready for Christmas, I love to explore the Old Testament prophecies about the coming of the Messiah, and I love to be reminded that Jesus, and only Jesus, fulfilled prophecy after prophecy, providing so much evidence that Jesus is the Messiah. It might surprise you to know that there are people who say that Jesus was fake, that Jesus arranged a few things in his life just to make people think that he was the Messiah. Things like arranging for John the Baptist to go around saying that he, John, was the voice crying in the wilderness, preparing the way for Jesus. Things like reading from Isaiah chapter 61 these words, "The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound." And then, declaring, as Jesus did, that he, Jesus, was the fulfillment of these words. Of course, we've already seen it's impossible to arrange things like your ancestry or where you were born or even when you were born. And there were specific Old Testament prophecies about all of those details of the Messiah's birth, and Jesus fulfilled them, every one. There is, however, one prophecy about the coming of the Messiah that Jesus could have arranged. But would he? The prophecy that I'm referring to describes the purpose of the Messiah's coming. We find it in Isaiah chapter 53. Let's read the first 6 verses. "Who has believed our report? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form or comeliness. When we see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we did not esteem him. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all." For generations, as we've seen, God's people were oppressed, often in bondage, all because of their sin and disobedience. For generations, they were promised that one would come to their rescue. For generations, they looked for a political warrior king who would do victorious battle against their enemies. In that sense, Jesus did not meet their expectations. But he certainly fulfilled those words of Isaiah, despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. Jesus didn't have that stately form or splendor that is expected of royalty. In fact, the prophet said that the people esteemed him stricken, smitten by God. In other words, Isaiah prophesied that when the Messiah faced the struggles that he would face, the people would naturally reckon that he was simply being punished by God. And that's exactly what happened, isn't it? But here is the crux of the matter. Isaiah went on to prophesy that the purpose of the coming of the Messiah was to be wounded for our sin, bruised for our sin. the chastisement of our peace. Let me rephrase that. The punishment that would make our reconciliation with God, peace, possible, was upon him. He continues, all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Do you see? Jesus' purpose was not fulfilled in a manger. Jesus' purpose was fulfilled on a cross. Would a fake Messiah choose to arrange that? I don't think so. But Jesus knew his purpose. Isaiah had prophesied it, and Jesus fulfilled it voluntarily for you and for me. And I thank him. I'm definitely getting ready for Christmas.